GEMP program. It is the Graduate Entry Medical Program, which is offered by WITS. I'm very excited about this course. Why am I excited? It allows you to start medicine at a third year level. Imagine that, starting medicine at a third year level. As long as you've got a degree, I think this is the best program. If you have a degree or you are about to complete a degree and you still want to do medicine, I think this is the best program. I will say, regardless of these requirements, you can meet them. You can meet them. You just have to make sure that you understand them, know what is required, know what you are lacking, and meet these requirements. If you want to get into medicine and you are sure that's what you want, you can meet this particular requirement. Don't be scared by them. I don't think these are too demanding. I'm telling you, if I wanted medicine, I'll go for this. You can meet these requirements. I'm telling you, you can meet them if you really want it. But make sure this is exactly what you want. Welcome you. This is Dr. T and I welcome you. We are going to be talking about a career. There's an exciting course that I want to share with you. The course is called the GMP or the GEMP program. It is the Graduate Entry Medical Program, which is offered by WITS. I'm very excited about this course. Why am I excited? It allows you to start medicine at a third year level. Imagine that, starting medicine at a third year level. As long as you've got a degree. I've known this course for some time. I remember during our time at BSc, I knew about this course, but I've never researched it. I've never followed it up. But this course is actually good for anybody with a degree who want to pursue medicine. If you want to be a medical doctor, if you want to pursue medicine and you've got a degree, I think GEMP is the best course for you. Why is it the best course? Because they take you at a third year level. You start medicine at a third year level when you have a degree. So you can follow the GEMP program. Now I want to tell you more about it and show you the requirements, all the information, what you actually need to do in order to meet the requirements. So let's get into it so that I can show you more information about it. Okay, so I am on the WITS website and you could see there, this is WITS. So basically when you go to WITS, you just search for GEMP, G-E-M-P. GEMP, what it stands for, like I said, it's a Graduate Entry Medical Program. So basically, if you can just read through this, it's basically to allow entry of suitable qualified applicants to meet certain minimum requirements into the third year MBBCH degree program. That's basically an acronym for the medical program, or the code basically. I think this is a very good program because you don't have to start at first year level. So imagine you have your own degree, whether your degree took 4 years for engineering or it took 3 years for BSc or 4 years for BSc, you don't have to start first year. You just get straight into the third year and then you continue with the medical program. And the reason they've done this is because usually at the medical school, the first 2 years, you find that doing what a BSc student will do. I mean, it's only second year where there can be some form of deviation, because at second year, you find there's a physiology, there's anatomy, which not all BSc students do, but at least what you are going to do, and you will see as I show you the course, one of the requirements when you write an entry assessment or test into the program, they make you write an assessment that focus on anatomy and more physiology aligned content. So you actually cover that. But if you come and you have done physiology, anatomy, I think that also as an advantage. So let's look at other requirements as well. Yeah, when you look now at, if you go to the website actually, but I will explain it to you so that you don't even have to struggle to understand what is required. The first part, what are the minimum requirements for consideration? That is the most important part on how to get information about how to get into this course. Now, I want us to go through them step by step. Number one, they say a completed undergraduate university degree at a minimum of a bachelor's or Bachelor of Technology degree level with an average of at least 60% over the final 2 completed years of study. National diploma, technical diploma, certificate, similar qualification cannot be considered for entry. We also accept application from applicants who are in their final year of study towards their current university degree. Now, looking at this in particular, bachelor's degree is basically what you'll get from a university. Whether you have done engineering, whether you have done a BSc, whether you have done whatever, it's a BSc or it's a degree rather. Bachelor of Technology is what you get when you study at the University of Technology, like your TUT. They give what they call a Bachelor's of Technology degree. So you get that. And so most people, they think this is only for people with BSc. It is not. Any person with a degree can get into this. I mean, you can see people from a technical who are not even doing BSc. They can get into this. So it doesn't matter what degree you have, and you will see as I explain later, because even if you don't meet, okay, the reason actually most people think it's only for people with BSc is because if you do BSc or people with a BSc, they actually do subject that meet the minimum requirements. Majority of people who have not done BSc, they probably don't have the subject which are required as a minimum requirement. However, they've got a provision that you can actually do those subjects for non-degree purposes before you can apply. For example, if you don't have biology, if you don't have chemistry, if you don't have some of the subjects there, you can actually do them for non-degree purposes. They've got a program for that, just to prepare to apply for this particular course. So it doesn't matter where you come from, as long as you meet some of the requirements, other requirements can become an add-on. So the first requirement that we saw there is that you need to ensure that at least the first requirement is that you need to ensure that you have a degree. They don't take a diploma, they don't take higher certificate, only degrees are considered. They also accept application from applicants who are in their final year of study towards their current degree. In other words, you don't have to have completed your degree to be able to apply. You can apply even when you are at your final year of study. Why? Because they mention here that for the first requirements, you need an average of 60% over the final 2-year completed years of study. Final 2 completed years of study. In other words, if you have done BSc, you are at your final year. The first year and second year, at least, you should have at least 60%, because those are your 2 completed years of study. If you have a degree, at least your final year of your degree, whether the 3rd year or the 4th year for BSc, if your BSc 3 years, you must have 60%. If your degree is 4 years, in a case of engineering or those in extended program of BSc, your 4th year and your 3rd year, at least you must have 60% average. The question that you might have is that where will they see this information? They will see this information from your academic transcripts. Your academic record. So if you go to your admin department and ask them for your academic transcript or record, it will show all the module and percentages, and those percentages you can be able to calculate the average of your final 2 years of study or the completed 2 years of study. Now let's look at the second requirement. So when you have met that requirements, now you move to the second one. The second one is that sciences requirements, all of the following are compulsory. All of the following are compulsory. So everything that you see below here is compulsory to be accepted on the course. Number 1, 50% for first year university degree level in biology. So the reason this is good for people with BSc is that a person with engineering might not have this biology at first year level. So majority of people are going to have biology are probably the people in BSc. So you must have a course that majority of medical students do at the first year level at WITS. So majority, I mean, I know at other institute, biology becomes a prerequisite at the first year level. So BSc people become the people who are most likely to be having all these requirements met. But I want you to see other requirements so that at least you can have a broader picture of why mostly BSc people are the ones who seems to have all these minimum requirements without having to do any additional subject that they don't have. So you need the 50% first year university degree level biology. Why do they need this? Because remember, you have a degree or you are completing a degree. At this point, your matric score, whatever, they're not the focus. We're focusing at what you are doing at a degree level. 50% for first year university degree, biology, full course. Full course basically means a full 1 year course, not a semester, full 1 year completed course. The second thing is that 50% of first year university degree level physics half course. Oh, sorry, I forgot to mention. Here at the top is biology or equivalent course such as anatomy. So you might not have biology at first year, but you have got anatomy, or you have got physiology first year, or you have got zoology first year, or you have got life science, and similar courses will also be considered. So it is your duty when you apply, you basically make sure that you check that you've got all these relevant courses or any course that you might think is similar. Obviously, they didn't give us all the similar courses, but I mean, you can check with them when you apply. Secondly, 50% of first year university degree level physics half course. Half course basically means it's a semester course. Full course is a 1 year full academic year course. So you will see the other one also is a half year course. So you don't necessarily need to have a full 1 year course. Even if you did physics at varsity at just a semester, for a 1 semester, that is sufficient as the requirement. You will see also here that they also want 50% first year degree chemistry at a half year course. So half year course basically for a semester. Then the other requirements, the above 3 subjects must be completed at first year of university bachelor's degree or higher diploma certificate studies. Higher diploma certificate studies will not be considered. So they want these 2 subjects, these 3 subjects here, chemistry, physics, biology, or zoology or anatomy, they want all of them at a first year level. Sure, now you understand why majority of people who find it easy to meet the requirements are the BSc people. So all of this at a first year level. Now let's move to the other requirements. Remember, these requirements are numbered. Now we're moving to number 3. All of them must be met. Number 3 is also one of the following possibilities. Mathematics requirements. So these are mathematics requirements. On this one, you don't need to meet all of them. One of the following possibilities. Remember the top one, all of the following are compulsory. 1, 2, 3, 4 are compulsory. For this one, all these options, you have to at least meet one of them. Understand it? One of them. They pertains to mathematics. So what are the options now? Firstly, 60% for matric mathematics national certificate. This is for people who have done matric 2008 to the current year. So if you have done matric from 2008 to 2020 or whatever year, then you must make sure that you've got 60% for matric mathematics. Or you must have passed a higher grade mathematics or 60% on standard grade for matric pre-2018. People like us who did matric long time ago, before 2008, we had mathematics at higher grade or we had mathematics at standard grade. So what that's saying is that if you did higher grade, all they want from you is a pass. Imagine, just a pass. But if you did standard grade, all they want from you is to have 60% pass mark. I actually asked them, I called Vets just to inquire about this, particularly on the higher grade, that what is the symbol that they want, because back then they'll give you a symbol. And what they said even E is sufficient. I think E was like, it was very low. I think E you got 50s or so, if I remember correctly. So at least E. But obviously, remember, the higher the percentage, if you've got D, you've got B, you've got C, you've got A, you are going to stand more chance in terms of selection than if you come with your E's. But at least even an E. So, but basically they just want a pass. So basically E, is good. But remember, this course is very competitive. So many people apply for it. So there are many people competing to get in. So I wouldn't say you need to rely on just getting an E. Make sure that you've got high percentage, particularly on your degree. If you've already done your matric, there's nothing you can do. You are stuck with your E. But at least at a degree level, try to make sure that you get high percentage on your biology, your physics, your chemistry, and all that. So that is on the higher grade level. If you check now on the third option, possibility, 50% for a full course mathematics at first year university. So basically they're saying you might not have done mathematics at high school, or your mathematics is not that good at high school. For mathematics alone, what they will do, they will consider your mathematics at the university level, at the first year level, considering that you have done it full course, meaning for the whole 1 year, and then you have got 50% average. So I think this will also make up for people who have got a bad matric mathematics. So if you didn't meet the first two, at least you can meet this one if you are doing mathematics at varsity level. So here you have got different options. If your matric is good, you don't have to worry about this. But if it's not good, at least you still have an option at university level. So if I was doing BSc and medicine was my option, I will make sure that I also take mathematics at the first year level, just to make sure that my marks are good, or to compare which one is good. Then option 4, applicant with international school living qualification. 60% mathematics from any foreign school living qualification deemed as equivalent to either South African National Senior Certificate or the Cambridge AS or A level by Universities of South Africa Matriculation Board. So basically these are the people with international qualifications, so they can check that. There's a site, they can just make a follow-up, and obviously the evaluation of the matric, they can do that as well. Then the fourth requirement, remember I told you they're numbered, so you check them, all of them. All of them are requirements for entry. Now the language requirements. So these requirements, you must understand them by level. This one is language, mathematics, sciences, and then you've got a degree requirements. So for language now, one of the following possibilities, like the one above, you don't have to meet all the requirements, just one of them. You must be able to meet them. What are they? 60% for matric English home language or first additional language. This is 2008 to present. So if you have done matric from 2008 to the current year, make sure you've got 60% on your English matric home language or first additional language. So this one doesn't matter whether it's first or second, there must be a 60%. Mostly English people have that percentage. And also number 2, pass on higher grade matric English. This is for us who did your higher grade or lower grade. Pass higher grade matric English for first or second language pre-2018, or 50% full course English at first year university. Usually almost every university has got English at the first year level. International application, score of at least 7 for IELTS test, International English Language Test System, or a pass in English language. So basically those are for your international. That are the options there. I think most of the people are going to meet the requirements because we all have English. English is not one of the most difficult at school level. Obviously there might be people with the challenges. I'll say take it at varsity level. Make sure that you get high marks. If your marks at matric are very bad, so make sure you take it at varsity level. But generally speaking, most people are going to have this one. Now let's look at number 5. Number 5 is items marked with an asterisk. This is basically the one here, basically those two. They say number 2, 3, and 4 are prerequisite. Number 2, 3, and 4 are prerequisite, which means you need to meet them before you are selected. So this one, remember, they say you don't need to have completed your degree So even if you are not yet completed, they can still shortlist you. But 2 must be met. You must have the subject. You must have mathematics. You must have the English. So there's no way you are going to go around this one. So you must have them before you are selected. A prerequisite, so this must have been completed before the application closing date in 30 June. So if you want to be selected for this, make sure you apply by 30 June of the year, before the 30 June of the year that you want to be considered. So if you want to be considered for next year, make sure before next year June you are considered. If it's for this year, before this year June, you have applied, you meet all the requirements. Results must be forwarded to the senior faculty officer. Applicants to the GEMP are not required to write the national benchmark. So NBT, most people will be familiar with NBT. It's one of the national benchmark tests that is done by University of Cape Town for all the universities. So you don't need to write that. It's not necessary. Now let me close this and move. You know, I think to be fair, this side is very self-explanatory. I went through it before I called WITS, and I realized it is very straightforward. It's easy to understand what they want. Everything is straightforward there. But now you will see they also have possible questions that you might have in order to be able to guide you. What is important to note there is that your matric, they give you specific subject which they want. When you're applying for this course, they're not looking at your APA score. They're not looking at all your subject in matric. They are very specific. Because why? You are coming with a degree. You are coming with a qualification. What is important is what you have at your degree level. Like, you know, when you get to medicine, they look at all your subject at the matric level. They calculate the APA score and they give you your APA score, and then that score will get you into medicine. But for this one, they're looking at your degree. However, in order to be able to strengthen your application, they look at certain subjects at the matric level that are relevant for what you are going to do. So I think this is the best program. If you have a degree or you are about to complete a degree and you still want to do medicine, I think this is the best program. Now let's look at some of the questions that you might have that they have also addressed on the site. So one of the questions they ask is, I don't have biology, physics, and chemistry at university level. What can I do? So this is one of the questions that they answer, because there are many people who might have done other subjects. Maybe you've done BCom, you have done whatever. You have done your accounting stream. You have done, other streams that are more out of BSc aligned or Science aligned, and you don't have the subject. So that's saying applicants can study these courses for non-degree purposes through most South African universities. Please see the GEMP part-time course for information about the course offered through WITS Plus. So in short, if you don't have these courses, there's still a possibility, because some people at matric level, you find you do your BCom stream, you do your accounting stream, you do your language stream and all that. You don't have your biology, you don't have your physics, you don't have your mathematics. That's saying there's still an option. You can do the courses through a non-degree purposes at any university. You can go to UNISA, you can go to wherever. I will say, personally, if I wanted to do medicine, I will do anything to get in. If courses are needed, I will go and get the courses and do them, And now I think if you redo matric courses, it doesn't take long. Sometimes 3 months or 6 months, you have rewritten your matric. So you can do these courses for non-degree purposes. But in addition to that, WITS has got an option. They've got an option where you can do the course with their WITS Plus. WITS Plus is another section of WITS where they do these particular courses. They provide GEMP part-time courses. I think WITS has got a well thought out plan for this particular course. Now, this is a part-time GEMP course. I think there's a site where they offer short courses. I think they support the GEMP in terms of their offering. So WITS Plus offer a part-time option for GEMP candidates from the Faculty of Health Sciences to assist with increasing the number of medical graduates. So you can see this is a well thought out program. Application to study in 2023 are open from 1 July to 30 September 2022. The graduate entry program allows entry of suitable qualified candidates who meet the certain minimum requirements into the third year of MPhD degree. They are basically reiterating what is said in the program. This provides candidates with the opportunity to complete their undergraduate medical studies in a period of only 4 years. So you are only doing medicine for 4 years. Imagine that. After which they enter the internship and government-mandated community service. GEMP candidates are able to complete their 3 prerequisite courses on a part-time basis through WITS. Remember, these are some of the courses that are compulsory. You need them. So what that's saying is that if you don't have chemistry, physics, biology, they have an option. You can do them. How do you do them? Chemistry, they say they offer it in the second semester. Physics, they offer it in the first semester. Biology is a full course. Remember, what they want, they just want the half course for physics, half course for chemistry. So GEMP offer them. They offer them. And I think if you do it with WITS, it's even better if you don't have them. They offer them as per the requirements of WITS. Biology is a full year course. How does it work? You might ask yourself, maybe I'm working. How does it work? Students need to register through WITS Plus as occasional students for non-degree purpose. Upon completion, they do not get a certificate, only statement of results. So basically, you add to the results. Chemistry classes will take place Wednesday and Thursday, 5:30 to 8 o'clock. So even if you are working, you attend after hours, followed by tutorial 8 to 9. Physics, Tuesday, 5:30 to 8 o'clock. Thursday, 5:30 to 18:30. All courses require compulsory lab work. Lab session will take place as follows. Chemistry, 4 consecutive full weeks during November. Physics, 3 consecutive semester 1. These courses are prerequisite to GEMP, do not provide any credit to GEMP. However, students who want to study towards another degree that this course form part will get credits. Students can only apply for GEMP once they have completed all the 3 prerequisites. Okay. Please also note the following. It is strongly recommended that GEMP prerequisite courses completed over 2 years. Structure as follows. 1 year physics, first year. Second year biology. Biology consists of 2 separate semester courses with no aggregate. From 2019, students will have to start biology in semester 1. No mid-year start will be allowed. Okay, I think that is a lot of information. Now, I want to break it down for you. What they're basically saying there is that you can do biology, you can do chemistry and physics in order to supplement your gap or what you don't have if you don't have these courses. Both chemistry, physics, they offer them as a semester module, one in the first, the other one in the second. Biology is a full year course. All of them are offered after hours. You will notice there, they are saying it is recommended that you do the program over 2 years. Why 2 years? You do one program, first semester chemistry, second physics, and then next day you do biology the whole year because it's a year course. It is a recommendation. It is not compulsory. In other words, if you want to do all of them over 1 year, it is your choice. Their thinking is that because you want to increase your chances of selection, they want you to focus on one module at a go so that you can get a high percentage. However, I know some of you might want to take all of them because you want to finish quick, as long as you have got the time on your side, because then it will mean you might be attending Monday to Saturday. Because I called them to ask them, wouldn't biology maybe clash with all of them? They said, no, you don't clash, because some of the classes can be on Saturday, particularly for biology. So there won't be any clashes. So even if you take all of them, none of them will clash. You can take them in a year. But I think if you don't have time, because you saw that you are attending from 5:30 until around 9 if we add practicals in the case of chemistry and I think physics as well. So you might be in class, and if you are young, it's fine, but if you've got family, it might be a bit difficult for you every day after work. From 5 until 9 you are in class. It might be very difficult unless you are doing only one course. So that is what they're basically saying regarding the WITS Plus. So if you don't have these courses, they have that option that you can consider. This is also for people who didn't do it at high school level and they want to edit. This is the option. So you can see that there are people with accounting background who don't have your biology at matric level. This is another option for you. So you can also do this and get into medicine at a third year level. I mean, there are many people out there, I think, who are they're becoming lawyers, they're becoming teachers, they're becoming that because their parents wanted them to be that. You find that you've got a degree and you don't want to do what you are doing. I think this is a good cause for you because you find you wanted to do medicine, but your parents wanted a lawyer. Your parents wanted whatever. You give them their certificate. Here's your lawyer on paper. I want to do what I love now. Because sometimes people go through that. They have to do a degree for their parents before they do what they love. So this course, I think, is the best for people who have got a degree and they still feel they love medicine. They want to do medicine. I don't want to dwell much on this. Basically, you can also check how to apply. Basically, during the lockdown period, application need to download. So you basically get the form on the website and then you can download them, the one matric certificate. So I'm not going to dwell much on this. Let me see what other information is required. The student report to ensure that they meet the minimum requirements. Application will be okay. But anyway, I think you can check it out. I just wanted to show you this option for those who don't meet the requirements. This is an option that you can consider and study those subjects on a part-time basis. Now, the most important part now, I want to go back to the how do you apply for the graduate entry program. Now, applicants for 2023 intake, student open on 1 March 2022. The deadline for the application is 30 June. Like I said, the degree code, make sure that you get it correctly. MFA 00, YOS3. You can apply online. If you are not sure, I will recommend that you go to WITS directly and to the WITS medical school, and they will assist you. This is not a postgraduate application, but an application to medicine degree. Is an undergraduate qualification. You may also apply in person, a student enrollment, Solomon Mahlangu House. So they're basically giving you the address. You don't need to go to medical school. This is where you can go if you want to apply. Then the admin people there will be able to assist. Documents required: completed application, certified copy of your degree certificate if you've already completed. Remember, you don't have to have completed to apply. Certified copy of your academic transcript. This is what I was talking about. Transcript will show every course we have done from first year to the current year, or the last test or assessment that we have. This is what they will do. This is the one that will have percentages of everything that you have done at the university level. Certificate copy of a matric certificate or final school leaving certificate. This is where they're going to get your marks for matric. And then proof of payment of the application fee. Every application, remember, come with an application fee. So that's basically in terms of requirements. What if I'm a foreign applicant? What process should I follow? So they also have information here about foreign applicants and what you need to do. You can check that out. And what is the WITS Additional Placement Test? I think this is the most important part as well. The WITS Additional Placement Test, WAPT, is a selection test for GEMP that is written only once per year, and the test is only open to invited applicants. I think they are going to be shortlisted people. The shortlisted ones are going to be the one who are going to be invited to write it. Applicants prepare for this test purely by self-study. So self-study, you are not going to be brought to class. The content covered in the test are related to the course covered by MBCB student in second year. Remember what I said. So the test is basically aligned to more anatomy and physiology, because that's what they do at the second year level. The faculty recommend that all applicants start to prepare for the test once the application is submitted to enable them to perform well in the test. The 2022 test will be written on 12 September 2022. So this shows you that you need to apply on time. You need to apply at least before 30 June as they've showed. The practical arrangement for the test online on campus will be communicated on invited applicants, will be posted on the page when the decision. So there are also practical arrangements in terms of where to write, whether on campus or online. All that will be communicated by the university. For 2022 test, all applicants who meet the minimum entry requirements as listed above will be invited to write. So you still write an selection test or placement test. Applicants who have written the WAPT in 2020 who have passed all 3 modules of the test do not have to rewrite again. If the applicant did not pass any component, the entire test must be written. So there might be people who've passed. I don't know for what reason why they never got in. They don't have to write again. But if you failed one module, you do everything. Applicants who have written the test in 2020 may contact the senior faculty officer. See the contact information below to inquire about their WAPT results and whether they are exempted from writing the W. So there's the information for those who have written it before. If the test was written in 2019 or earlier, the test must be rewritten. There is an administration fee of 200 Rand levied in order to write the W. I mean, usually if you work at university, you are a mentor or whatever, you can make this money and pay that. Payment information on the formal invitation letter sent to the invited. Important. The WAPT is a pass or fail test only. The results of the test are not included into the calculated admission score academic rating. So you can either pass or fail the test. And then they also show you what is covered in the test. I showed you they cover the test 3 main fields: study human anatomy, human physiology, molecular medicine. The learning objective for 2022 test have been finalized, just for your information. That is why I was saying people mostly who have done anatomy, physiology are likely to do well in this particular test. That's basically what the test cover. Example of structured answer of the questions are below. The good thing about this site as well is that they provide an example of the test. I think you could see there, that's an example of how the test is. So you can also check that out. So you don't need to stress yourself. The information is there. They give you all the information. And then you will see also when you open here, they basically give you the scope, what the test will cover. So if you open that, you are able to see the scope, what the test will cover, describe the role of CD4 T cells, the cell involved. I mean, if this is what you want to, if you want to become a doctor, you must like this thing and study them. Define the term. So they give you example and the objective, and then they tell you about the textbook that you can use that will help you to prepare. So they give you all the information that you need in order to prepare this. So the textbook is there, the information about the content. I mean, they give you everything that you need. And when and where is the test written? They've told you in September. That's when the test is written. No other dates are available. If the candidate cannot attend the test, the invitation will be deemed as rejected and the application. What happens after? This is the most important. In order to qualify for the entry into the GEMP, an applicant has to pass the 3 components of the WAPT separately. All candidates who fail one or more components of the WAPT will be notified that the application is unsuccessful. So in other words, even though you meet the requirements, the one that I showed you, the number 1 to number 5, even though you meet them, but you fail this test, according to what they are saying, you will be unsuccessful. So it is not only about meeting those requirements, you must also pass the test. And I think this should not be discouraging you. I think this, for me, if you really want, because I should think, if you have got a degree and you still want medicine, really you must be sure that this is exactly what you want to do. You should have done an introspection. You should have checked yourself. I tell people I'm a career psychologist, and I know that interest is one of the most important aspects for somebody to succeed academically. Potential and aptitude, the ability to think in a certain way and be able to think intellectually at a certain level, will also make you to succeed in medicine. And also, so you need to check yourself. Why do you want to do this? And I think if you have done an introspection, you know that you are doing this not because of peer pressure. You know that you are not doing this because of you heard people that there's money in medicine. And I want you to check. There's a video I've done where I speak about that, where I show you how much a doctor gets and how much other people get, so that you mustn't have a preconception or wrong conception that medicine are getting more money than anybody in the world. That is not true. So if you are getting here because of money, you might be shocked, because you can't go through all this trouble and you get shocked if you thought you were doing it for the money. I think people who do medicine, They can make a lot of money, but you can't do something just because of, there's money in every course. Accountants make money, psychologists make money, teachers make money, people make money everywhere. Business people make money. So don't take it just because you heard there's money. If that's the way you are doing it, you might have a challenge, you might not even be selected. So you might be wasting your time. If you think you are doing it because you want a stethoscope, that will not be the reason. Otherwise, you can get money and buy your own stethoscope. I think you can afford it yourself. Leave that. It can't be the reason. If you want to wear a clinical coat, you can buy that yourself. If you want to wear a scrub, you can buy that yourself. So don't do it for wrong reasons. That is why you find people that are doctors. You go to hospital, you go to community clinics, you find a doctor is very rude. He has no interest in people. They can see the queue, but when there are time for lunch or there are time to go, they will go. You could see there's no passion, there's no interest. These are the people who do courses because they heard there is money. Maybe when they get there, there's no money and they become angry doctors. They become angry doctors, or they have to work hard for that money and they become angry. I'm telling you, I've seen people who have done medicine who love it, and it doesn't matter the hours. It doesn't matter the demand of the work. They love it. Money becomes cherry on top. They just love the work. They love people. And if you are like that, I will say, regardless of these requirements, you can meet them. You can meet them. You just have to make sure that you understand them, know what is required, know what you are lacking, and meet these requirements. I don't think these are too high. They're not too high at all. If you want to get into medicine and you are sure that's what you want, you can meet this particular requirement. Don't be scared by them. I don't think these are too demanding. I'm telling you, if I wanted medicine, I'll go for this. You can meet these requirements. I'm telling you, you can meet them if you really want it. But make sure this is exactly what you want. So you see that unsuccessful, they will no longer be considered. Now the faculty will not enter into any dispute. So there are no discussions here. You can't be saying, hey, I'm protesting, hey, I'm going to appeal. There are no discussions. If you didn't pass, you didn't pass, they don't take you. So it's your duty that when you do this, you make sure that you pass. They will not be taking any stories just because you feel like you are entitled to medicine. So make sure that you do it and you pass it. Now, the faculty will not enter into any discussion. The decision is final and not open for any reconsideration, or any circumstance. And the other thing I will say, if you are not selected, I will say go out and make sure that you meet the requirements. If you are not selected this year and you really want it, go back again next year. Go back again the year after. I mean, I'm so encouraged by people who are into art, acting, sports and whatever. They can go for trials and they never get selected, but they keep on going again and again and again and again. I was interviewing a gentleman actually who's acting on Lion King. He was telling me how he got rejected many times before he got selected. I think his video, I will edit a link below if you want to check it out. He was rejected, I think, close to 6 times. On the 7th year, he was accepted into the program. Now he's traveling all over the world as a Lion King performer or an artist. So don't be despondent by not being selected. Sometimes some of you are young. When you go there, you're a bit naive. You don't know all the requirements. There were other issues around you that affected you from preparing. So don't be discouraged by not being selected at the first time. I will say, if you love this thing, go all out. If you don't get selected this year, go again the following year. So make sure you do anything to get into what you want. Let nobody stand on the way of your dream. So do anything to make sure you reach your goal. So they also say the remaining applicants will be placed on a waiting list until such time that the candidates that are still completing their studies have the opportunity to submit their final academic before 14 December. So, which means here, remember when you are submitting, some of you have not completed your final year. You are still on your final year, you might fail it. Some of them have completed. Remember the requirements, have completed. Remember the requirement. The requirement is that you must have a degree. So if you have not completed, they'll wait for you to complete, even though you are shortlisted. So they might select somebody who is not yet completed and it's above you who has already completed due to the score, but they don't perform well, that person might be removed and you take that particular space. So shortlisting is a good process as well. So make sure that you do well. If you are shortlisted, make sure that you pass your module. Once this deadline has been passed and the actual number of available spaces has been determined, all the applications will be ranked according to the academic rating, and the top rated applicants will be offered a space in the program, while the other applicants will be classified as successful. So you can pass the test, but still you don't get selected. Why? Because they look at the performance from top to the bottom. So you find you still don't meet the threshold. Let's say, for example, I called VET to check with them how many people do they select. They said they select about 100 to 120 students in the program, which means at the third year level, they have about 100 to 120 people. So you can just imagine, at third year, you have got people who are doing third year this year. You are applying to do third year the following year. So they will look at how many people pass third year this year to clear space. So if 20 people remain or fail third year, they've already taken the space of other people who must come. And then they look at also how many people come from second year to third year. The people are coming from third year to second year, also they take the space in a third year level. So when I asked them, they said they take about 30% of the 120 to 100 people who are selected in a third year level, which means we're looking at about maybe 30 to 40 people being selected into the program. So let's say you are about 100 or 120 who have applied. Not all of you are going to meet the requirements. So even if you pass the test, the WAPT, even if you meet the requirements, but your score is lower, you might not make the cut. That is why I say, don't focus on just meeting the minimum requirements. When they say 60, you get 60. When they want 60, get your 80s and above. When they want 50, get your 80s and above. Make sure that you always stand out in terms of your performance. Because why? The competition is very tight and very high. There are many people who want to get into the program. So make sure you don't just meet the minimum requirements. Get as high marks as possible. Calculation of the academic rating. This is how now they're going to calculate. Academic rating is calculated by taking the average marks for the applicant's final 2 completed years of study in the prior degrees. This is I've explained in the when we started. Example: an applicant with 3-year bachelor's degree. I think I've mentioned this. The average marks for the second and third year BSc 3-year program. An applicant with a 4-year bachelor's degree, for example, your engineering, your BSc extended program, the average mark for 3rd and 4th year are taken. This is the interesting part, and I didn't know about this part, and I thought it's very interesting. You know, there are people who are doing their honors, they still maybe want to do medicine for whatever reason. They are saying an applicant with an honors degree or higher, which means master's, doctorate, the academic rating equals to the average mark from the honors degree and the final year of undergraduate. Extra points are awarded for all completed postgraduate qualification. For example, honors get 1 extra point, masters 2 extra point, doctorate 3 extra point. These are awarded cumulatively. It is actually even, I want to say easier, but your chances of getting in are also higher when you've got a postgraduate qualification, provided your undergraduate score is also high. Because for every postgraduate, they add a points to you. So you might be at an honors level, at the master's level, and you still want to do this. I don't know why you'll want to do it, but if you want to, for whatever reason, there are still points. Your chances are very high that you might get selected. I think that's also one of the advantage of applying when you've got a postgraduate. You are not just coming with a degree, but you also have a postgraduate qualification. Now also, only completed degree studies are taken into account for the calculation of the academic rating. Non-degree studies are also excluded. Remember, non-degree are the ones that you will have done at VET Plus for meeting the first requirements of entry. Financial regulations, obviously this one is going to speak about financial matters, payment and whatever. But I want you to see the terms of and conditions. I think let me close with this part. Now I want us to go through them. The number of available spaces in the graduate entry program is severely limited, and no stage of the application process can or will any guarantee entry be made by any person or department. Places are limited by the number of students proceeding from MBCH 2 into MBCH 3. Remember, I've explained this, also called GEMP 1, as well as the number of students who are repeating GEMP 1 year. As a result of this, there is fixed number of students accepted in the GEMP every year. Basically, this is what I was explaining. You get students in third year, you get students in second year who move into that, and you get people externally who apply. So that makes the difficult for people to get in, so the spaces are limited. Applicants who are invited to write the WMPT are in no way guaranteed a place in the program. Furthermore, not all applicants who pass the WPTA are guaranteed a place in the program. I've also explained this part, that passing is not a guarantee that you are in. You can pass, but your score is still low compared to other people who have applied. The WPT dates and times may change closer to the time, but the final arrangement will be communicated to all. So this is the administrative part, that the faculty will send the information. The faculty will send invitation to email. So make sure you've got the correct email. Use your Gmail, whatever email you are using, and check it often. Applicant to ensure that correct, up-to-date contact. So make sure that your information is correct. Don't miss information where they're communicating with you and it's bouncing, they can't get hold of you. It will be your loss. The WMPT is subjected to international accepted standard setting procedures, and therefore no request for remark or review or script will be considered. I mean, you could see here, there's no manga business. You can't get away through your crooks or whatever. No remarking. If you fail, you are out. So make sure you get things correct. The Faculty of Health Science reserves the right to request additional information from student or institution regarding course completed for minimum requirements, biology, physics, to ensure that these courses are sufficient. So they might want even the credit codes if they are not sure that you have got the correct courses. Number 6, while the application from eligible international students are accepted, admission is not guaranteed. So while application from eligible international students are accepted, admission is not guaranteed. Similar to the non-international student, no admission is guaranteed. Faculty reserve the right to collect biographical information from the applicants, which may or may not be used for further selection process following the successful completion of the test. So basically, they might want information about the genders and all that. And you also have the contact information here if you want to speak to them directly. Remember here I said it's finance information. You might also go get information if you want to know like whether there's NSFAS or all that. Usually when you get to medicine, you know, there are many bursaries that speak to medicine, so you will be able to get that. So friends, that's basically it. So that is the course, the GEMP Graduate Entry Medical Program. So this is a very good course. I will not have brought it here if it's not a course that I think is worth to look into if you really want to do medicine. I know many people who have completed BSc want to do medicine, and I don't necessarily think there's anything wrong with that as long as you understand the rationale for it. I think it is only wrong if you have not done a thorough introspection. If you are doing it for wrong reason, I think that is what makes it wrong. But if you are doing it because of the correct reason, you have got passion for it, you have got love for it, you have got interest for it, and the competence and the potential, I think, and the aptitude, I think go for it. The reason I like this course is because it is better than doing a first year. So you can just imagine you do BSc 3 years and then you add 4 years into this course. It took you about 6 years. You also have a degree behind your back, and then you are just adding 4 years. Pretty much what it takes a person to do medicine, a full 6 years. So this is the course that I will definitely recommend that you do. So friends, let me end there and close. If you are new in this channel, before we close, I want you to take time and make sure you subscribe to this channel. Make sure that you click the subscribe button at the corner of this video, and make sure that you also click the bell so that whenever we share video, you can be able to get it on time, and get the bell, click the bell notification so that you can be able to get an alert. And comment at the bottom if you've got any question that you feel like you need to be clarified on. Comment at the bottom of this video. Put your comments there. I will be able to address your questions. I've also put a link at the bottom of this video for those who are looking for jobs, who want us to send them jobs on weekly basis. Make sure that you fill that link and we will email you, and you'll also get the email. You can interact via the email, which will also make it easier for you. But I wanted to make sure that, number one, do an introspection, check if really this is what you want to do, and you will be able to succeed. So all the best if you are going to apply, and I wish that you continue living a fulfilling life.